Troy, all of us, right? All of us as children, right? We didn't see it. You know, the hat, when I'm looking at the sculpture you created, right? The pipe. You remember the pipe, right?
Yeah.
You always had the pipe and the way the hat coin there, right?
Yeah.
You know, and he strung the guitar. You could hear it all over the place. Man, that used to make us mad, but.
Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Welcome to Born to Achieve podcast, the show that inspires and motivates you to unlock your full potential and achieve your goals. With your host, Warren Andrew Pinder. Let's get started on this week's episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve.
Troy.
Yes, sir.
And welcome to the Born to Achieve show.
Yeah.
The podcast that help to motivate and inspire persons to achieve their goals and their dreams. You are a young artisan, a young Bahamian that has done great work in your own right. And I consider you an achieved man. But today we're here to speak about the lost opportunity and how to help persons to understand that when they have greatness around them, that, you know, to see it, that they don't lose the opportunity that we lost. Having with us, living here, a living legend, Mr. Joseph Spence. Mr. Spence used to sit right here on this porch every afternoon, right? And we used to be here saying, man, what the man doing? What he playing? Why he making noise on his guitar? He can't play. Tell us a little bit about Mr. Spence.
First of all, I'd like to say just a big to everybody, to you guys, doing this show. And it's a pleasure to be here. Wow, man, come to Mr. Spence. He was all part of our childhood. And some of us, for me, he died, I think in 1984. I would have been in I was actually, I was in St. Thomas North. So I was in that film. And obviously, successfully. Mr. Spence would have been sitting right here in this very spot that he's crafted. I crafted him about 10 to 12 years ago, right here. And I did him, I had steel on his leg. So this concept of doing him was very, very challenging. In fact, I didn't even know what I was doing. I did that in the focus group. And then a tribute to Mr. Spence, he was a challenge. I never thought I would even do something like this. But what was amazing is this man would be sitting right here. I would be heading on my way to pass his house to head across the Palmdale area, pass Aquinas College, Garfunkel Auditorium, to get to school. And I would meet him here basically every morning, except perhaps Sunday. He would be here, and he would be here early. And he would sing here with his guitar, and he would be singing. The song I know most about, I remember most, was Up on the Rolling Sea, then Jesus, something like that. And I get invited to how this song, okay? Because I really thought he couldn't sing at all. And that's all I focused on, but he always had this guitar and an iron donkey bicycle, slippy park on the side, the right side of the porch. And he would be singing the song, ringing. The ringing of the guitar was high and strong, but his voice was strong, but it was mumble. And it sounds something like this. Up on the road, he got Jesus, got to be done. That's how I used to kick it, man. Look here. I almost for some kind of a long time I used to befriend him. Then it was just more like walking. We took it for granted for real, but not because we wanted to. It's really because we just was not educated enough. I believe the nation didn't give him his rightful respect and honor because he was world famous even in that time. And no one talked about him here. He would go to work, do his masonry work, and what have you, but he was never recognized. He used to play checkers a lot too. And he was good at it. I think they used to call himself Gator. I guess because he used to teach, like he was fire. He's a big man, His hands was huge. Masonry gave him strength in those hands. And when he played the guitar, it sounded like 5 people playing one guitar. And this was the truth. Now, I was privileged to remember that music from the guitar. And then later on, just love the voice of his music, singing and his vocal capacity, and listen to the music, and then you see the genius in it really come out. The way he played that guitar, it's like fire, chariots of fire, man.
Man, but Troy, all of us, right? All of us as children, right? We didn't see it. You know what I mean? The heart, when I'm looking at the sculpture you created, right? The pipe. You remember the pipe, right?
Yeah.
You always had the pipe and the way the heart coin there, right?
Yeah.
And he strung the guitar. You could hear it all over the place. Man, that used to make us mad, man. We used to be mad like
I don't shut up.
Why you shut up?
That time we were trying to silence
legends.
All right, and the truth is you can't silence them.
No.
All right, we are giving tribute and honor to Mr. Spence. I really appreciate his life and what he contributed to our nation and our world. I thank God that I was able to add the narrative to it and the creative spirit and craftsmanship of arts and craft.
Yeah.
And the artistic world and craft him.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. We'll be right back.
Achieve Man, written by Warren Andrew Pinder and Dominique Bradford. This book passionately focuses on the challenges women have been made to go through and how to overcome them. In some cultures, being a woman disadvantages the girl child. This book carefully exposes the hurdles you might face. This masterpiece is the ultimate self-help guide for women. It reveals your true purpose and identity. Get your copy today. Available from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
I give him a little bigger size than he was in the life there as a human anatomy, but the truth is he was larger than this as a human being. I am proud to know that he was a Bahamian. That makes me proud to be Bahamian. And as I say, thank God for Joseph Spence.
Yeah, man. And I'm proud of you, right?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you because look at what you created, right? You have here sitting here, a man who went to Carnegie Hall, right? You know, the legends now that we learned. This man was sought after.
Smithsonian.
To the Smithsonian. You have persons now learning his technique.
Yeah.
They're learning his technique.
He is legend. And you can Google him up now. They talk about him now more. You can't pass, I think, a music exam. You can't pass a music in college in Japan. You won't be able to get through and taking up a course in music. You won't be able to pass it if you don't take up a course of Joseph Spence.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's in Japan.
Wow.
So, he's covered the world.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. You know, one of the things, like, what I'm trying to get across right now, right, to our youths, right, you took it upon yourself, right, as an artisan, right, to create this man. And what it does is, it helps persons when they pass an art. Who's the man? You know, if you say Joseph Spence, and you can tell a story. You could go on YouTube, right, and listen to him play. And when you hear him play, like it sounded like gibberish.
Yeah,
It sounded like gibberish. Like you say, man, I was shocked this now. Here are you? Wait, like I never took the time to learn. At least you took the time to learn.
I had no other choice. He was right under me.
Yeah.
I live upstairs, he's downstairs, and he ringing. And the man he hit those chords hard.
I tell you, it is said that
it was in the normal ring of how you play guitar. It sound like 5 people playing guitar.
Exactly, and it said that he could make a guitar sound like different instruments.
Yeah, he had a special gift. And there's legend that he don't play after 12.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, when he was Androsian, got spent time, he lived several places in the Bahamas, like at least in Nassau, I think. But in the days that I remember him, he was in Palmersville.
Exactly.
And his house is in the back road.
Exactly, right, yeah.
All right, and to this day, it's still there. But what is most important is that what we have here on the porch is really now his house. And he's still here. We've been here now for 15 years.
Awesome, bro.
So
but see,
we keep him here with us.
How do we translate this, right, to our young men and women, getting them to understand, to respect our elders, right? To respect their worth.
Mm-hmm.
And understand that you could lose an opportunity. That's how I feel. Like, I lost an opportunity to really get to, I may have been able to learn the guitar, but you were sitting in the midst of greatness.
I was just a bit too young to really, perhaps get the passion drive. I don't know if it's the word too young, but I couldn't see myself unless someone had influenced me to play the guitar right then in life. But I guarantee you, if I was educated and was talked about it, he would have been probably teaching music.
And he had all this lined up. We would have been lined up here trying to learn to play. And that's the lost opportunity that I'm speaking of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want to go through life understanding that there are lessons that persons like Joseph Spence could have taught. But because we see something as unusual, as unique, right? And not appreciate what is unique. You see, we took it and looked at it as if it was something bad, like the man didn't know how to play the guitar. Like you say, he's singing gibberish.
Ignorance.
But you know something too? A part of it, right? Like you remember when you had to walk past his house? Miss Spence wasn't easy.
Oh, no.
She protected him. She wasn't easy.
Easy was the bone breaker, I guess. She was the well, pretty much believe he was holding the shots because you know her voice. He might play the guitar hard, but her voice was even harder. And she was singing over the
Yeah.
Honest with you.
Yeah.
But she was very nice to me. I guess something. I see why the friendship was so strong. And I guess you couldn't tell him this spot on the porch was any sport.
Yeah.
This spot. And there was another little person, Miss Baker, Annie Baker.
Yeah.
She had the spot for a while too in her life.
Yeah.
And everyone would actually hold that spot, never gave it up and until they passed.
Yeah.
So this time he passed and he's still up. He's still sitting on that.
You put him right now as what?
Yeah.
As memory for persons to really pass and ask what this sculpture is, who he represents.
And a lot of people have asked, and a lot of people. Actually, he's one of the most famous pieces of artwork in the Bahamas because he is all over, and people come from all over the sea.
Yeah.
And no matter how you put it, every generation, every year school graduates or says students.
Yeah.
There's a new group that comes asking about him. So the legend of him, actually, I am joining into it.
Yeah, man.
With my art.
Yeah.
Because a lot of folks actually get to know who Mr. Spence is from the sports.
Right. That's awesome.
I didn't see that coming, but still,
That's awesome.
I thank God for being able to contribute in that kind of way. My educational system.
You know what's so unique, right? With this right now, what's really unique, right? The same time, Troy. The same time. This was his time. Remember the iron donkey bicycle, the guitar strap across the back, the pipe, burning the you know what I mean? Remember the pipe?
Yeah, that's the.
And he would come from wake and he'd sit right here, Troy.
Yes.
Yes. And as we talk about this, right?
Yeah.
We would, tell the youths, man. Tell the youths how that this is so important, right? That skills like what Joseph Spence had to offer. That when you see someone that you be able to identify a unique skill or a unique trait, right? That you want to respect. Let's use the word respect. And how they could actually coin their lives from learning from others. It doesn't have to be a man like Mr. Spence. We lost this opportunity, and I'm speaking about that. Don't lose the opportunity. Don't lose the opportunity. There are plenty of people out. Don't lose the opportunity to come learn from Troy Nixon. This craft, look at all this, what you're doing right here. Don't lose the opportunity.
I started sometimes without knowing what you're talking, because I feel like sometimes what is taken for granted, yet still that's knock off, and I able to capture the moment through window when no one knows I'm looking and hearing the comments and seeing the reactions of people's eyes and their expressions and their movements. When I do see the appreciation of what I do. But I realize the medium is very complicated when it comes to the fact that you have to deal with certain different media. You have to use different types of materials to put it together. I guess people won't be interested in all that I do. So the construction site when you're picking my work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know that if they don't understand it or receive it, if you're passionate about it, pursue it. That's the first thing, I guess, is pursuing your passion. And I think Mr. Spence I know he was very passionate with the guitar.
Yeah, beyond passionate, man.
He pursued that. So whatever we thought or anyone thought, he believed in himself. He believed to his glory to his God.
Yeah.
Now, this is my advice I give to the folks out there, and to my nation, my peoples.
The world, man. We send this to the world. From Gunnersville on your porch, right? On the porch in Gunnersville. Man, we send this to the world. We want people to know, bro. All right? Don't lose this opportunity.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you said you spoke with passion.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to be passion-driven in order to do something. And despite what anyone think, you continue. Because you believe in yourself and you love what you do. And if you love what you do, that's the beginning of where that's your gift. That's perhaps your talent. All of that ties in. It's perhaps what's going to make room for you. Make room for you. But it also makes you, it gives you a reward to your own self. A personal feeling of achievement. Pride. Yes.
Self-gratification.
Yes.
And listen, man, you just said it's not achievement, right? And I all about this achieve movement and persons achieving their dreams, their goals, right? And it starts with taking action. Like I said, the simple concept, but you got to take action, chart forth, right? Identifying, removing the hurdles that you encounter, with intensified effort based on the value, the respect that we said we didn't respect Joseph Spence. So we didn't get it, right? But when you do those steps, that simple concept, right? That the systematic concept of taking action, charting the course, removing the hurdles, with intensified effort, based on values. You know, you should tell Mr. Spence, man, hi, good afternoon, sir, good morning, sir. You know, you even tell him, hey, sir, what you playing, or just ask him. Yeah. You will earn whatever if you go through that, right? That's what I preaching and I trying to tell persons out there, right? To achieve. Now you achieve, man, yourself. You said just now, the achievement, the accomplishment. You understand? You took action, Troy.
Yes.
To build this. You like you said, you didn't know what you was doing. It's a little difficult. But now it's something that's a testimony to greatness.
And I appreciate
that we lost, bro. We sitting on the side here and we lost that.
We actually had it too good.
He's playing. He's in the road. He's in the road. He's doing too much foolishness, man. He's in the road. You know what I mean?
And that's when you better be in the road. Hopscotch.
No, you wasn't easy. You wasn't easy.
For the girls and bat and ball.
Oh yeah.
School.
Playing bat and ball right over the side. That's how his wife used. That's why his wife used to run. It's supposed to be making too much noise. By right ahead.
Easy wasn't easy.
She wasn't easy. Easy wasn't easy. She was. You know what I mean? But we were children, and we lost that opportunity, bro.
Yeah, we did. But thank God that somewhere down the line, because we were involved in life.
Yeah.
You're doing what you're doing right now. You're doing what you're doing about Mr. Spence, which means that all was not lost. All is not lost.
Yeah.
There is hope.
Yeah.
And with hope, well, we can live. It's without it, you can't at all.
Yeah.
I would say Jesus Christ, the hope of the world.
Exactly.
Mr. Spence, one thing you must remember now, in the era, Mr. Spence, they might do what they do, but they were very, very strong about their God, about the Most High God. And that's my biggest advice I could give to the world. Stay with God. And I'm not a saint. Me and the devil is no friends. You know? Mr. Spence used to always have of a God.
You think that's why the song is so good? You think that's why the song is so good?
But you know, he did some good gospel music, and it sounds good now that you could put it together, but with all due respect, though, what goes in and what comes out. And in the end, greatness came out of Mr. Spence. And I'm not going to knock us off the chart either.
Yeah.
I think greatness coming out of us comes out of us too. And we straight out of Thomasville. But now, straight out of the Bahamas, straight to the world, I want to give Mr. Spence a straight up salute.
Yeah.
And this is the jubilee of the Bahamas as a nation.
Yeah.
And I like to say happy independence.
Yes.
To the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And happy jubilee.
Yeah.
Bahamas, Mr. Spence is going to ring this guitar from the heavens to salute us all.
Definitely.
We march on Bahama land.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
And like I said, it's a lot to do, if not basically all about God.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how it's really done. Those who may have an opinion against it, more love for you.
Oh yeah, man.
But Mr. Spence knows they come from a clean time in history where people were more loving, where you could borrow sugar, you could get Walmart, you get your neighbor was your brother and your sister, and you didn't have to lock the doors and things like that. You can't try that no more. But one thing for sure, I don't have to lock mine because when people see Spence on his porch, they think twice for coming into my yard or my house.
Yeah.
I only could tell you, I've heard people say good morning to Mr. Spence.
Yeah.
I've actually heard people actually talking to Mr. Spence.
Yeah.
With conversation.
Yeah.
And not even realizing he never answered back and say, okay, so I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
So, well, in fact, Mr. Spence fooled me on my porch coming up from BW Davis. When I first put him, I wanted to do this big man is on my porch.
Yeah.
Then I got closer and realized it was my work that was sitting there. So, yeah, I guess he really looks as if he is sitting on the porch in live and flesh, but no, it's really in the creative spirit and in the spirit of creativeness. He sits here, and we could live with that.
Definitely.
The guitar and the pipe
Yeah.
and the hat
Yeah.
and the suit.
Troy,
That's Mr. Spence for you.
Troy, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, right? You know, I really take my hat off to you. I want you to keep up your good work, man. You know, you're an achieved man extraordinaire, you know, and I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you, and, you know, keeping this together. It's important, you know. And as persons listen, it's all about taking action and believing. Once you believe it is whatever you want to achieve, right? And you could do it. And you didn't know what you were doing, but right now, bro, you know, it's a story for the world to really listen to. You know, go to YouTube and listen to them. But before we go, stronger note. Let me hear you. Let's start that note with you.
Jump in the line, rock your body on time.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. We hope you found it informative, inspiring, and motivating. Born to Achieve. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Stay focused on your goals, and we'll see you on the next episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve.